Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa tabi'ina lahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin wa alayna ma'ahum wa fihim bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. We are continuing with the four things that nullify ablution, and we have reached number 3. Number 3 is skin-to-skin contact between a male and a female who have reached the age of sexual discrimination, which we'll define, and are not each other's unmarriageable kin, and the singular of that is mahram, and that they touch without a barrier between them, like, clothing or a latex glove or what have you. So we're going to come over each of these. And you'll notice there are 5 criteria here. So the first of them is that there be skin-to-skin contact. Skin excludes hair, nail, teeth, and clothing, right? Though that's also excluded by the last one. So skin means, your skin, not your nail, teeth, hair. Between a male and a female. This one excludes contact between 2 males or contact between 2 females who have reached the age of sexual discrimination. What does this mean? In Arabic, it is kabir, and it is not baligh. It is not that has reached puberty. He's translating it as has reached the age of sexual discrimination. What is that? That they have reached an age where they are desirable. They're sexually attractive to healthy members of the opposite sex in the common acknowledgement, what's normative in their place and time. So someone who is healthy, they're not sick, they're not a pervert. In that place and time, if they would look at this young man and young lady and say they've reached the point where they're now sexually attractive to members of the opposite sex, then that person has reached this age that is being translated here as sexual discrimination, kabir, right? And that'll differ. It's subjective. It'll differ somewhat with place and time. That's in the urf of that place and time, the common acknowledgement, what's commonly acknowledged to be normative in that place and time. That is when they reach that point, they break ablution, even if they haven't reached puberty, bulugh, right? Which we covered. We covered the signs that if someone reaches bulugh, they're definitely at this point, right? Someone who's reached bulugh is definitely at this point. And incidentally, this is a tangent. Someone even close to bulugh is typically given the rulings of someone at bulugh with respect to these questions. So that they have reached the age of sexual discrimination, meaning that they are attractive to healthy members of the opposite sex, and that they are not from each other's unmarriageable kin. The singular of that is mahram, right? So what is a mahram? What is someone who is from unmarriageable kin? A mahram is the person who you are forever forbidden to marry due to family relation, family ties, suckling, or being in-laws. So you have unmarriageable kin who are family members. You have unmarriageable kin through suckling, meaning that a woman suckled a baby who was not hers, and not the biological child of her husband, for example. And you have unmarriageable kin because they are in-laws. The unmarriageable kin are 18. 7 due to kinship, and the 7 due to kinship are referenced in the saying of Allah, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أُمَّهَاتُكُمْ, forbidden for you are your mothers, وَبَنَاتُكُمْ, your daughters, وَأَخَوَاتُكُمْ, your sisters, wa ammatukum, your aunts, wa khalatukum, your maternal aunts. So those are paternal and maternal aunts. Wa banatul akh, your nieces through your brother. Wa banatul ukht, your nieces through your sister. Those are 7. And the opposite 7 are forbidden for a woman. So fathers, sons, brothers, paternal uncles, maternal uncles, her nephews through her brother, and her nephews through her sister. So those 7 are mahram due to family ties or family relations. The same 7 are unmarriageable due to suckling. Right? So your mother's from suckling, your son, your daughters from suckling, and so on. Mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, sisters, and so on. Aunts, uncles, so on. Nephews, nieces. And the same 7 that are forbidden due to kinship are forbidden due to suckling. Suckling means that, for example, a woman who is married lactates, she has breast milk, she nurses a child 5 times, right, with certain conditions, under the age of 2 lunar years and so on. That child becomes her son or daughter by suckling. It also becomes her husband's son or daughter by suckling, her children's sibling by suckling, and so on. Another point about these 2, when we say fathers, sons, and so on, it's an on up. Like, so mothers being forbidden to you means mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and on up. Daughters being forbidden to you means daughters, granddaughters, great-granddaughters, and so on. And then, so that's 7 from kinship, 7 from suckling, and then there are 4 who are due to being in-laws. And those 4 are, and this is speaking in the case of a man, and we would just reverse it in the case of a woman. The wife of one's father, so that would be the husband or wife of the parent. The wife of the son, so again, that's the husband or wife of the child. The mother of your wife, parent of your spouse, so father of your husband in the case of a woman, and also the daughter of your wife, so what we would call a stepdaughter. And there's one detail there. The unmarriageability occurs between a man and his stepdaughter after the marriage has been consummated with the mother, right? So with consummation, the stepdaughter becomes mahram, unmarriageable, forever. So that is 7 from kinship, 7 from suckling, and 4 from being in-laws. Those are 18 mahrams. 18 mahrams, and those are unmarriageable people, and there are rulings based on unmarriageability. Okay, the ruling that pertains to purification is when you touch someone who is unmarriageable, it does not break your ablution. So if a man touches his mother or his daughter or his aunt and so on, his wudu is not nullified. If a woman touches her father, son, uncle, nephew, and so on, his her ablution is not nullified, right? So they are not from each other's unmarriageable kin. If they're from each other's unmarriageable kin, ablution is not nullified. And the last of these 5 things is that the touch be without a barrier between them, even a very thin barrier, like latex gloves, which have become very common, right? Someone's wearing gloves and they touch another. No, neither wudu is broken. And a detail about this one, La ilaha illallah, both the touched and the touchers, ablution is broken. That's whether it's deliberate or indeliberate, with or without desire, provided we're certain of the contact. right? We're certain of this type of contact. And if we look at this type of contact, there are 5 criteria for it. That it be skin to skin, that it be between different sexes, male and female, that they have reached what's being defined here or translated here as the age of sexual discrimination, that they not be unmarriageable kin, and that there not be a barrier between the two. So if those 5 things occur, ablution is nullified by skin-to-skin contact. And the 4th and final of these things which nullify ablution are touching human genitalia or the anus with the palm of the hand or the inner parts of the fingers. So, and this is whether it is of yourself, whether it is of someone else, whether they are mahram, whether they are not, whether they are old, young, living, or dead, right? And it's not permissible unnecessarily to touch someone's aura. But were that to occur in the case of, for example, medical examination, or as it often occurs for those of us that are parents in the case of changing diapers or cleaning a child, the ablution is nullified. And what part of the hands nullifies ablution? What's covered when I do this, when you do this. You touch your hands together and press them lightly, and then like this on the thumbs. Just that portion of the palms and the inside of the fingers. What's covered when I do that with a little bit of pressure. And on the genitalia, it is just where the labia and clitoris come together on the woman, just her genitalia itself, not further out than that. And on the man, it is just his penis and just what's referenced to the anus of the person. So not just the genital area, like, for example, where the pubic hair grows, not the testicles of a man, just specifically the penis of a man, or where the labia of a woman come together, or her clitoris, or the anus. Just those areas touched with that part that is covered when I press like that. If we are certain of that contact, ablution is nullified. And all of these have to be based on certainty. So, for example, if someone didn't know if you touch the genital area or the leg, wudu would not be broken. If someone didn't know if they bumped into a man or a woman, wudu wouldn't be broken. If someone didn't know if it was skin-to-skin contact or skin-to-nail contact, one's ablution wouldn't be broken. If someone didn't know if one slept or not, one's ablution wouldn't be broken. If someone didn't know if anything exited them, it might have and it might not have, they were unsure, ablution is not broken. So you have to be certain of the thing that breaks ablution for ablution to be broken. And one detail associated with sleep is that sleep breaks ablution, not what is called in Arabic nu'as, we would call it dozing. And the sign of sleep is that you see a dream. And the sign of dozing is that you can hear those around you, but you're unable to respond to them. So, for example, there's a conversation in the room, you're hearing them talk, but you're in a state where you can't quite respond. Then you awaken from that state, you come greater attention from that state of dozing, and you can, you could respond. So that's dozing. So if you doubt, did you doze or did you in fact sleep? Wudu is not nullified, and Allah knows best. May Allah give us to follow Prophet Muhammad, Allahumma salli wa sallam wa baraka alayhi wa alayhi, the one who is pure and purifying. May Allah give us presence of heart to enter a state that is pure for Allah and to stand for Him in prayer. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alayhi wa sallam, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.